We've got a big win in the fight against big tech, but this time coming from Australia. It's a story we've covered before, but it actually doesn't look so good if you go read the US tech media covering of the story. Let's jump on in. Let's start with a little bit of Australia winning. Basically, this story is something we've talked about for a long time, right? You've got your large content tech platform monopolies, Facebook and Google, who, when you're a tech monopoly, who do you take advantage of? It's not the consumer. You take advantage of the producer, the supplier. So in the case of media, we've had Tim Kendall on the show, Facebook's first director of monetization. We've talked about this topic ad infinitum, where basically content platforms have destroyed the media business's business model, right? They've forced all these media and news outlet publications to put their credibility and their journalistic standards by the wayside in order to chase whatever is going to be the most salacious, the most triggering piece of content, piece of news, even if it's fake news. Actually, better if it's fake news, frankly, because those more contentious stories, exacerbating stories are going to get what? More engagement, more shares. And what does that mean on Facebook and Google? That means more ability to monetize those eyeballs and those clicks and those impressions, right? So the Facebook and Google algorithm promotes fake news. It promotes the more incendiary content, the divisive content, right? It makes Facebook and Google more money. And clearly, the media organizations have figured this out. Their business model's been destroyed. They need money just to stay alive. And they're stuck. So enter something actually good done by the government for a change. And that is Australia. Australia actually passed a law a little over a year ago in early 2021. We were covering this and have since covered this many, many times. I also went on Bloomberg News, including Bloomberg Daybreak, which is like Bloomberg in Australia, because Sundar at the time, still head of Google, threatened to leave Australia if this law was passed. I said, Australia, call this guy's bluff. There's no way he has the wherewithal to truly deliver on this threat. And sure enough, he did not. Zuckerberg, different story. Zuckerberg, I think, would have gone full tilt, would have absolutely temporarily left Australia, and would have taken it there to that brinkmanship. Sundar, he's not a founder CEO. He's a manager CEO. He doesn't have it in him to fight like that. Can't get into the trenches, do some bare knuckle boxing, which is what was needed. And Sundar, of course, capitulated. Go check out our videos on that. Anyway, now law passed. What has happened? It's been a resounding success. But if you go read tech media publications, it's a mixed bag instead of a resounding success, right? Instead of this being a resounding success, that this formula and this recipe should now be copied and emulated throughout the rest of the world, in principle, forcing tech monopolies to treat their producers, their suppliers, more fairly, right? Or not even just more fairly, just not completely taking absolute advantage of them, right? This isn't just applicable to Google and Facebook. This is applicable to Amazon. This is applicable to Apple with app developers, Amazon with third-party sellers, right? And the list goes on and on and on and on. Facebook and Google, in less than a year, have paid more than $150 million to Australian news organizations. But again, you go read the tech media on this, right? This one from The Information, and it's a mixed bag, right? They say, yeah, $150 million paid. That's like the first half of the paragraph, right? But I interviewed a bunch of people in Sydney for 6 weeks, and I found plenty of flaws. It's unfair to some smaller and newer outlets. It builds a dependence on tech money that could backfire on the news business, right? It's, oh, well, this is good, but you know, there's still issues. Can we stop that? Can we just take one moment and actually say, you know what? +1 in the column in the fight against big tech. Yeah, we actually got a win, finally, after all this time. And surprise, surprise, it didn't come from the US and it didn't come from the EU. It came from Australia. I mean, can we talk about that? Where is that in this article, right? Where is this article saying, hey, US government, EU government, all your big tech commissions, all your, hurrah in Congress about reining in big tech. And Australia beat us to it. And look, it's actually working phenomenally. No law is going to be perfect. We all understand that. But relatively, this is phenomenal. We've finally found a way to get big tech to open up their pockets and help out who? Their customers. Their customers being suppliers and producers. You go read this article. Oh, well, there's this problem. Oh, well, there's that problem. Oh, well, right? It's I want the positivity. I want the optimism. If you have ridicule, direct that ridicule at this country's officials, because what are they doing? And I guarantee on a relative basis, we've got a hell of a lot more regulators and bureaucrats than Australia does. Those people, I guarantee you, are also paid a lot more money than the Australian bureaucrats and regulators. So what's up? A big win. The article does say that Canada is actually looking to emulate this model. Once again, where is the uproar? What is the US government and all of our nonprofits and lobbyists and regulators, what are they doing? Are they asleep at the wheel or worse? Are they getting paid off by big tech? Or both? Because I don't really see anything happening. If you like that video, go check out that Bloomberg interview I did back in early 2021, calling Sundar's bluff. That you'll thoroughly enjoy. And then we've got a bunch of follow-up videos where we've done kind of chronicling this great momentous event in Australia. Go check out those videos.